Hello everybody, my name is Anthony. Welcome to a brand new Let's Play series in Kaiserreich. Today we are going to be playing as the KMT. They don't exist quite yet, but they will be spawning in soon. So, the China update for Kaiserreich has finally come out. What this does mean is that unfortunately the Serbia campaign we were just doing, last episode I think went up yesterday, prematurely has to end because this update just breaks the save file. So, unfortunately that is over. But it is time for something new. What are you doing? English names or... That doesn't matter. We'll ignore that for now. We're going to be playing as the League of 8 Nations for right now. As far as I know, there will be a revolt in a few months, which will kind of release the KMT, which will be able to play as them. I'm not too sure which path we are going to be doing. We're probably just going to kind of do things naturally. Need to see where things kind of flow. There have been some other changes. What has changed? Well, I know they've added some new provinces to Spain. They've added some new provinces to the Ottoman Empire. A bunch of countries have some new focus trees, like Britain, for example, has a new focus tree. I think both Italy's have new focus trees. Yeah, like this looks different. And the Italian Republic also, I believe, has a new tree. Yeah, it looks slightly different. Anyways, ignoring all that for now, we will basically just getting right in. So we start with two research slots, which is hot garbage, but we'll make do with what we can. We have a bunch of civilian factories. We have what? 8 military, 21 civilian. So let's go for a couple of military factories just down here in the south. Where we have our 50% bonuses. Do you have another province? Okay, put some up here as well. Just start with 2. Nothing too crazy for right now. I guess we'll go for the Nanjing army because there's really nothing else we can actually choose here. How many divisions do we start off with? We start off right now with 20 divisions. And we do begin as part of the Qing Empire. So, kind of like a disunified China at the moment. But it's led so far by Beijing. At least for right now. It's all gonna be fine. We'll get a handful of these guys into some armies. Get you up to 24. I'm really not too sure what's going to exactly happen. I haven't really seen anything on the China update itself. All of you guys please go over here. I think we had like 48 it said. We should have about... Okay, that's all of our troops. Assign you under some generals. We'll assign you under a field marshal. And you can just be on the border right now with Germany. Turn off Fog of War. Thank you very much. So because the AOG no longer exists, it's a major debuff to the Reichspakt. So we'll kind of see how that kind of influences things in Europe. Because one of Germany's major powerhouses, the AOG, just doesn't exist anymore. So the Imperial Cornerstone. Forged among last decade's war and expanded to its current size following the defeat of the Northern Expedition, Sun Changfen's League is a loose confederation of provincial governments oriented around his stronghold in Nanjing. Though united by its members' fear of central government control, the League is nonetheless a cornerstone in the empire, but resting Beijing against both external threats and internal challengers by virtue of shared heritage. This tenuous agreement has brought years of peace and with them relative prosperity. Foreign industrial methods have proved transformational, and Sun's armies now include several German trained and equipped divisions at their core. The League Marshal has come sit atop a very vast bureaucratic pyramid, position he is more than happy to keep, despite the cracks that have begun to appear at its base. German material aid necessary to offset pressure from Beijing and the League's fractured southern members has not served as a source of strength alone. German money trickles into every level of the League's hierarchy, feeding an already ingrained and unhealthy taste for corruption, with officials complicit in everything from embezzlement to stolen antique trade. This gradually stoked the fires of popular discontent, increasing harnessed by nationalist agitators and fueled by the exclusive remnants of the Kuomintang. And for all of Sun's effort to draw the fragmented elite together, it may be drifting all further apart. Still, these domestic squabbles are outsummoned by the rising sun, which looms large to the east. Beset by internal conflicts, the leagues must rise to the challenge or risk annihilation. You know what? The League will endure. I'm sure it's fine. Just ignore everything. Don't try to solve our problems. Also, don't do whatever the hell this is. Just stay within our territory, please. That's fine. Thank you. And then we're not training in troops. We also have like a... Why do we have so many different types of infantry? This is a mess. Okay, are any of you guys any good? Or for... But I cannot train you. Can I duplicate you? Train some of these templates up. Deploy you here. What are we actually building right now? Basic infantry equipment, total artillery and support equipment. We'll just get some convoys up as well. What do we not? We don't have a template for support equipment. Okay. Understandable. Send in the army. Continue army reform. We don't have that at the moment. So we'll just, keep going. Keep on keeping on. Kerensky's been shot. Not a huge surprise there. The Xinjiang Railway. By the way, I don't speak like Mandarin at all, so pronunciations are going to be bad. Today marks the log planned opening of the Xinjiang Railway, the latest expedition to which connects Shanghai to Nanjing, city deep within the Shaanxi province. The opening is noteworthy for a few reasons. First among them is prominent involvement of Chinese engineers in the construction, despite significant funding by the Germans, also known as the AOG. I mean, so the AOG still exists, but they're like kind of like a background character. Which is turning work into something of a cause celery. Those less optimistic have been quick to point out the AOG's newfound access to rich minerals deposits, as well as Jingdezhen porcelain, which has been able to fetch high prices in Berlin. Despite concerns, a threatened attack upon the opening ceremony by the Kuomintang agents did not take place. Disappointing, because I want to play as them. If you would just blow up the railways, that would be beneficial to me, I believe. Late in the morning, to the surprise of many, the AOG publicly announced its plan to purchase and consolidate a number of Eastern railways on behalf of the Germans, I guess. One of its component concerns among them was the new Zhanghao Railway. The AOG already possesses controlling shares of a number of the lines across eastern China, several of which it directly financed. But this dashes the hopes of those who believe the new railway might represent a more equal future for Germans and Chinese. While the Chinese management has been permitted to remain, they will now answer the German Directory Board, though scarcely admitted to the public. Few authorities in the league seem to have been forewarned of this development, and the police response to protests has been slower than normal. So things are not going super well. What are we using the aluminum for? Support equipment. We don't really need that, so you know what? We're not even going to import that stuff in. Don't even import the aluminum in. Unsurprisingly, the consolidation of the Central Chinese Railway under the AOG management has met with widespread criticism. Intellectuals have condemned the move in domestic papers, following by prominent Anglo-American publications out of Shanghai, and echoed by syndicalist party periodicals found on factory floors. More troubling, however, the news has spread rapidly by word of mouth and has grown all the more outrageous and fantastical in the process. Tales now describe extensive webs of conspiracy, disappearances of outspoken individuals, and support. The supposed transfer of millions of won from the League's marshal's own pockets. Public reaction has been predictably furious, and the protests have already spread from Jiangxing to Jiangxi to the major coastal cities, including the foreign settlements. Things, they're not happy. They are not happy. So, oh, okay. So this is English. Okay, well, we'll keep the native names, I guess. Attack on foreigners. Beginning with assaults on prominent German citizens and having grown to become virtually indiscriminate, attacks on foreigners have emboldened patriotic citizens are spreading like wildfire. The German consulate in Nanjing has advised the Kaiser subjects to arm themselves and travel only when necessary. Consulates of most other nationalities may soon follow suit. The impact of these attacks on businesses and investment remain to be seen, but recent history suggests the Shaanxi Stock Exchange will not remain unaffected. I mean, we still have like 2,000 man. Like, are we on... We're on volunteer only. We have 2 million manpower, which is pretty good. Boycotts and Beijing. Talks of boycott on German goods have accompanied growing protests throughout eastern China, provoked by an assortment of Kuomintang agents, religious cultists, and nationalist ideologues. More disturbingly, some local garrisons have stepped back and allowed the unrest to grow, unwilling to risk being labeled as Hanxing or race traitors. In order to ward off intervention from Beijing, advisors from the Nanjing Commission have suggested that the League Marshal's son publicly declare the situation under control. Elements of several divisions based in Nanjing, then ready to be deployed in the cities along the lower Yangtze, where protests are largest, and provincial garrisons could have been given the green light to take whatever action they deem necessary to quell the open dissent. Use maximum force or punish only the violent. You know what? Use maximum force. That seems like a pretty decent way to start. So they did bomb us. Explosion that rocked several stations and rail lines slated to become part of the Central China Railway, with one bomb destroying a train car in a crowded station in Hangzhou, leaving dozens killed and injured. The deaths and delays have brought transportation to a standstill in many areas and has slowed down development of additional forces to quell the growing unrest. Blame for the attacks have been leveled against various targets, from bandits to the KMT to Japanese agents. Some especially conspiracy-minded individuals suggest that German involvement, who they suggest are targeting their own possessions, to set a stage for intervention. Terrorism! There is new king of Britain, but that is completely unrelated to anything I want to do or have to deal with. Draw a line up here. How many men do you have? You have 23 divisions. So I'm already like one of the bigger parties. Oh yeah, you have 31 over here. That's pretty impressive, actually. Reports from north and south. Probably reports have reached Nanjing from both Jigzhou and Shaozhou in the Jiangfu insurrection zone. The KMT guerrillas have staged a series of increasingly bold raids, striking around the inland cities of Yongding and Longyan. Governor Zhao Yiren has long struggled to assert control over his mountainous province, with control often limited to the coast and the larger inland cities, and now his grasp grows all the more tenuous. Meanwhile, in Jiangsu, Governor Zhang Yunyan reports increased agitation by... look, things are happening, okay? It's not great. We have 5% world tension, mostly from the Russians. Why did because Crimson got shot. Okay, anyways. Telegram from Beijing. A telegram was received from Beijing, apparently sent at the direction of the Imperial Commissioner Wu Pifu, who sits in the Qing Army Minister and the undisputed head of the nation's central military apparatus. The message inquires about the current chaotic state of affairs, clearly worded with the intent to force League Marshal Sun to admit some weakness and hardship. The central government, under Wu's direction, has repeatedly attempted to extend its direct authority south. But so far, such efforts have been in vain. Our response must be careful and measured, demonstrating that we need no central government assistance to disperse these insurrectionaries. Everything is going well. It's fine. It's fine. How are you? This afternoon, protests in the city of Wuhu, bolstered by striking workers of nearby German-owned factories, quickly escaped police control. The garrison itself, reinforced by a section of German-trained troops from the Nanjing, attempted to restore order, but in the confused melee, someone started shooting. Within a matter of minutes, police, the garrison, and all the reinforcement troops began firing on the crowd and each other, or 200 already confirmed dead, with 4 times as many likely wounded. The resulting outrage has already sparked protests in surrounding areas. The situation is made all the worse by the presence of a small foreign settlement within the city, many already claiming that lethal force was only used in order to protect these foreigners, and the killings were most likely a feature in international newspapers by tomorrow morning. So, I mean, it's been 28 days since we started, and things are pretty bad. Citing a recent incident in Wuhu, Governor Shan Taoyuan has issued an ultimatum calling for withdrawal of non-provincial forces from Anhao, as well as the immediate handover of these officers responsible, though Shen assures that the League that its own soldiers will continue to quell the spreading unrest and disorder. He refuses further cooperation with the League authorities and announces the creation of the Central China Railway, which he blames as pushing patriotic citizens to the edge of despair. Under normal circumstances, this behavior would be unacceptable, but Chen's stance have already proven popular, and decisive action should be served. Gain control of Anhui province, which is... I don't know where that is. Oh, it's you. Do I annex it? Let's bide our time. Let's try to make everything like more unstable so the KMT just rises up. That's my plan for now. Unless this is the wrong choice. I'm not too sure. We'll see. We will see. So, let's go for the North School Doctrine. And we'll also draw our front line. And you'll just keep it as it is. It's fine. Black Monday has reached the east. Look, things can't get much worse than they already are. Right? I'm sure everything... Qing King town has been declared. The dog meat general is dead. I don't know what that means. Is that you? You didn't, like, break off my country, so I'm not too sure. Because you used to be on the other side, didn't you? Like this country? The Austrian Empire is withdrawn from Italy. That must be new. I feel like that never used to be in here. What are you doing? Austria. Okay. Dissension in the ranks. Word of suspended play has already spread far as the league's junior officers, and reaction has been predictably negative. For some, this will be an end to lifestyles of vice and extravagance, and at least for some time being. But for many of the common soldiers, it's the difference between life and starvation. The officers' grumblings made all the worse by a small number of vocal clique of the officers sympathetic to Chen Taozu's cause, arguing that the league should never have become so dependent on German handouts. In the barracks and in the streets, soldiers began riling up the Yangzhou adherents, taking converse and preaching against foreign wickedness, while the KMT and other leftist groups hide in the shadows, disseminating propaganda and denouncing imperialist collaboration. Nothing has yet to come from these activities, but what was once routine unrest is now threatening to undermine the very foundations of the league. Okay, I'm losing more and more soldiers. That seems pretty bad, I will admit. A heinous crime! Sun Xiaofeng lies mortally wounded, shot from behind by an assassin disguised as a serving woman. His brave bodyguards were able to quickly overpower and imprison the woman, whose rumor had already begun and spread and swirl. The calculation of the league's only widely recognized leader is unprecedented disaster, and unless he recovers soon, the successor is unlikely to be chosen without considerable bloodshed. Without effective leadership and the political fragmentation, all but a certainty, the ongoing crisis will surely spin out of control. The league's fate lies in the balance. Well, we're Marshal's son, right? Yeah, this dude. Spreading insubordination. Telegrams have been flooding all morning, accompanied by the din of the ringing telephones throughout the League Marshal's palace, together describing the rapidly deteriorating situation across much of the League. With no promise of pay, soldiers in Zhujiao, Nanxing, Jianzhou, and several other cities have either refusing to act or outright joining the spreading of violence and looting, while police and garrisons in Hangzhou and Wuxi have gone on strike. Riots there and elsewhere have gradually escaped the semblance of control, all made worse by Sun Xiaofeng's incapacity. Troubling telegraphs from lines from south of Fujian appear to have been cut, leaving entirely in the dark as a likely worsening situation in Gaozhou and Ganjing, while Nanjing itself practically... I know I'm not saying these right. He's not going to wake. He's definitely dead. There's no way he's going to survive this. Riots have reached the Marshal's palace. Nanjing police have been unable to contain one of the many riots spreading across the capital, as officers defect or sit idle and onlookers join the chaos, looting and burning houses, businesses, and now government offices. The hasty arrival of military units under the command of General Qi Zhangyan have already deployed nearby, assuming enough to protect the Mount Marshal's palace, but the roar of flames and burgeoning crowds are audible even within the chamber of Sun Xiaofeng lies deep in a coma. Like rats fleeing from a sinking ship, officials began observing, scurrying away to the back streets and alleyways, arms burdened by silver coins, papers, and perhaps government secrets. We have 13 divisions now. The illusion of Qing hegemony shatters. The facade of Chinese unity, having held together for nearly a decade, has begun to crumble. Rising unrest in the League's 8 provinces and the economic shock of Black Monday portending German retrenchment. Yeah, so basically everything is bad. The Qing Empire no longer really exists. Were we at war with? Oh, we're at war with these guys. Okay. Okay, so they declared war on us. Shen Chaoyan's declared war, calling upon his fellow governors and central government to aid him in his cause. Shen Jiawen has denounced Marshal Qi's ascension to the totally illegitimate and a farce, accusing him of planning such assassination. Having, like, things are just not great right now. How many men do you, like, we already got, like, in this guy's capital. How many men do you have? You have 5 divisions. You have 5 to 11. You go here. We've already captured his capital, essentially. So, I mean, that's pretty good, I think. So, we are just... Stop rising up against me, you assholes. General Shenghua rises... look, okay. He's rising up against us. Okay? I understand. Marshal Wu, Pifu, Bax, and King following the death of Marshal's son. Like, did he die? He's right there. He's not dead. What are you talking about? Yeah. So, everything in China is falling apart. But that is okay. But I think there's going to be a good time to end this episode. So, thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthem. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not enjoyed, click thumbs down. If you want to subscribe, and goodbye.